Were you interested in him last year before you made those deals for, Madsen and Doolittle and those guys? Were you in on those discussions last year with him?
He was one of the guys that we, kind of kicked the tires on, and obviously, the price for Calvin at that time with a year and a half of control was a lot different than it was, with 4.5 months of control. So we did have some. We got our eye on him for years. He's been a great reliever for years, and we've, was one of the guys that we talked about when we talked about improving our bullpen.
Does he express gratitude to you, by the way, for getting out of Kansas City? I know he's been there throughout his entire career, but this is a team that's at 22-51. I mean, they're dead in the water, and now he's on a contender. Does he come up to you and just profusely thank you for bringing him to D.C.?
It's kind of a mixed bag with those guys. It's, when you're signed and raised through a great organization like the Royals and go through you're in rookie ball with most of your teammates, and all of a sudden you're winning a World Series ring with them, and then you get moved. I think there's some joy and some angst just because you've been there a long time, you're familiar with everything, but yeah, you want to. This guy is such a competitor, World Series tested and playoff tested, and he's happy to be playing meaningful games, and he talked about what it takes to win a World Series, and our guys were all ears, and it's I think that he's really thankful for getting the opportunity to get after it again and get another ring, and at the same time, it's hard for those old relationships to die and to move on. But he was very excited about being with us. I spoke to him after we made the trade. He was all a little shocked, but really fired up about it. And when he got to the clubhouse, met some of his old teammates and Timmy Collins and Ryan Madsen, and was welcomed with open arms by not only the bullpen guys, but everybody on the team.
Huh. What's the number one reason you think he's struggling right now?
Well, actually, I've seen the last couple of games he's been a little bit more erect in the stance, got a little bit more balance, kind of thinking middle of the field more often. So I see subtle improvements and subtle changes in his approach at the plate and the way he delivers his swing and that type of thing. So I see good things coming. Hey, I'm a Harper believer. Anybody who's not a Harper believer hasn't seen him play. So it's only a matter of time before. And he gets his act together. He gets, he finds a couple of holes, hits, gets a couple of base hits. Then the home runs will come, and then we'll be talking something different about Bryce Harper. We think we're a better team with Bryce in the lineup each and every day. Although a reset and a break never hurts anybody. Everybody needs a day off, especially in our modern times of baseball, where there's no greenies and there's no stimulation help to get you going every day. Mm-hmm. Everybody could use a day, so I'm sure Bryce will get a day, but it won't be incorporated with him not performing on the field or slumping or anything like that. We're a better team with Bryce in there. His presence in the lineup is palatable. You could feel it. The other team recognizes it. They have to prepare for him, and he's still one of the guys that in each and every advanced meeting, I guarantee you they're circling Bryce Harper's name, even at whatever average he is right now, because they know. I know the Blue Jays were talking about it when I was speaking to some of their baseball people. Is just hopefully they're saying I hope he stays cool, and just when he gets out of town, he's going to go off. And I think that's the kind of the attitude with most teams. We have to prepare for him, we have to scheme for him, and hopefully he won't break out against us. That's what they're thinking.
How effective is that shift against him, though? Because it seems maybe a coincidence or whatever, and they're doing it more than ever, maybe close to 50% now, way up than in years past. What does he need to do to combat that, or does he not need to think about that at all?
Well, I think the shift is, you can see throughout baseball, the shift has had an effect on hitters, specifically left-handed hitters.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the shift at large has been fairly effective against left-handed hitting. It's no different with Harp. He hits the ball really hard. He hits balls on the line and on the ground, and ground balls these days are outs with the shift as it is, and he just has to I don't give Bryce hitting advice, obviously, but he just has to do his thing. Beat Bryce Harper, and that's good enough. That's MVP level, and I don't think he has to worry about chips and hitting around him or through him or over him. I just get back to your balance point and your good mechanics at the plate, and swing at strikes and don't miss your pitch. I think that's to me when we have our discussions offensively with our coaching staff, they ask me, what do I see from the booth, and I watch a lot of video and that type of thing, and it's like he gets in a position to get his pitch, and when he's going good, those 3-1 pitches, the few pitches that he gets to hit that are in the good place in the strike zone, he's fouling them off, and when he's going good, those balls are doubles and singles and homers. And now it's 2-2 instead of man on second.